Greetings and welcome to another impressions video here at Words About Games, and today we're going to be looking at Baba Is You. Baba Is You is a new twist on a puzzle game. Players will work their way through 200 plus levels with a simple goal: navigating to whatever each level's win condition is, overcoming and circumventing various obstacles put in their way. The twist? The way you solve puzzles in Baba Is You is by changing the rules to allow you to win. In the vein of the best puzzle games, Baba Is You is a fairly simple game to pick up, but one that is also deviously difficult. It's built around a really novel mechanic. At the start of each level, Baba is you, quite literally. You need to guide Baba to an object in the level that allows you to win and unlock the next stage. But where other puzzle games, and other games in general really, give you a set of rules to learn and work around, Baba Is You flips this idea on its head. In this game, instead of working around and pushing the boundaries of a set of expanding rules, progression requires you to change the rules, bending them to your will so that you can pass through to the next challenge. It's an incredibly clever mechanic. The rules of each level are actually blocks that you can push. Say, for example, there's a rule that says wall is stop. That's 3 words represented by 3 in-game blocks that basically make walls behave like walls. By pushing one of these blocks and breaking the rule, you're able to then move through the walls as if they don't exist. And that's just the most simple version of this mechanic. Rules could be changed completely. Replacing the word stop in the previous example with the word push would allow you to push walls. Or how about simply becoming all of the walls in the level? There are some rules that are unchangeable, of course. You'll always need to have something to control lest you simply become totally unable to do anything. Some rules will be stuck in corners of levels or completely out of reach, forcing you to work around certain obstacles that you're not able to change. Thinking outside the box is a literal requirement of playing Baba Is You. It's a game about evaluating which rules are immutable and which can be shifted, experimenting with different ones and figuring out a solution that sees you putting a level's win condition within reach. And while it starts out fairly simple, Baba Is You gets bloody difficult as more objects, adjectives, prepositions, and verbs are added to the mix. It's a game that forces you to get creative with your solutions, which is highly encouraged thanks to an undo button and the ability to instantly reset and restart a level. There'll be some levels with multiple solutions, and there are some that have a single path to victory. And as you get deeper and deeper into the game, solutions become more complex and harder to spot so quickly. In the beginning of the game, I was solving puzzles almost straight away. By the time I reached the game's 3rd world, I was taking a lot longer. There are some quirks in the game's design that can make puzzles feel a little unfair, or solutions feel a little cheap. Most of the time, solutions are fairly straightforward once you figure them out. The kinds of puzzles that make you slap your forehead and say, "Oh, of course." Other times you can get tripped up by incorrect grammar, or be confounded by certain phrases simply not working as they seemingly should. There have been a few puzzles I've solved by brute force or dumb luck, mashing together a solution that worked despite my not knowing precisely how or why. It feels great to figure out the solution to a puzzle when you understand how it works, which, to be fair, is most of the puzzles in Baba Is You. But stumbling onto a solution that works despite your not knowing why doesn't feel particularly satisfying. And yes, I am being intentionally vague at this point to avoid spoiling more than I absolutely have to, because despite the odd misstep, this game is a ton of fun, even if it sometimes feels more like a mental torture device than a video game. Some of this confusion is intentional. Outside of teaching you basic controls, Baba Is You doesn't really explain how any of its mechanics work. Instead, you'll need to experiment whenever a new type of block or command pops up, pushing the boundaries and figuring things out for yourself. There's probably no way the game even really works if it explained itself, but as I just noted, it will cause some minor frustration and confusion from time to time. I guess it's just a necessary trade-off for a game that is mostly a delight to solve. The music is another area where Baba Is You falls somewhat short. It's not something you'll really be aware of in the early stages of the game, as you'll be solving puzzles too quickly to notice how annoying and repetitive the soundtrack is. But once you start getting stuck, or need to take some time to ponder solutions, it'll quickly become apparent that there's not much variety to the music you're hearing. Despite these issues, Baba Is You is a wonderfully novel puzzle game. It flips the conventions of the genre on their head, forcing you to change the rules to win rather than work within the confines of them. If you're a fan of the puzzle genre, then you absolutely owe it to yourself to check a look at this really great, unique puzzle game armed with as little foreknowledge as possible. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please leave us a comment, like, or subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We've got tons of awesome videos coming every week, including review impressions, indie game of the week, debate-driven top 5 lists, video essays, and our weekly podcast where we discuss games, gaming culture, and the games industry. We also stream 3 times a week at twitch.tv/wordsaboutgames. But most importantly, have a fantastic day.